Hello and welcome to this video. This is going to be a very short video just highlighting. I thought it was actually quite an important thing to just highlight what my specialities are in the realms of psychotherapy, as well as Reiki. I mean, Reiki is a specialism of mine, but there is only one type of Reiki, so that's it, basically. But in psychotherapy, obviously, there is a whole range of things, and psychotherapists in general have a toolbox. Okay, I always liken it to an analogy of a toolkit, a toolbox. Okay, and it's vast. Okay, just as if you're a mechanic on or an engineer of some sort, you would have, tools, a toolkit that can fix a whole range of things. But of course, a mechanic, let's take the example of a car, would really just specialize in certain areas. Okay, there are going to be general areas that a mechanic or a psychotherapist can cover, and of course we can adopt the attitude that if we can use a set of tools and methods fixing one thing or helping people to understand one thing, then of course you can apply that to another area. Okay, so there is always that. Always remember that is generally the rule. But I think I can probably speak for a lot of therapists in general, where yes, we can be a general psychotherapist in areas, but there's going to be areas potentially based on life experience, right? Where we feel we have knowledge and experience that we can share, as well as the tools that go along with it. So because we've probably used those tools to either fix ourselves or have gone through therapy ourselves and learned how to use these tools, we can then feel confident enough to pass those experiences and knowledge and such like on to clients, to other people. So areas where I feel I specialize in more than everything else, really, predominantly. And of course, as a therapist, you like to attract clients that you feel that you can help the most as well. I mean, that's also really important. So again, if you're looking for a therapist, I believe that you need to be explicit about the areas maybe that you're, if you know what those areas are that you need help with, that a particular therapist can help you in that area. And with myself, if somebody was to come to me and say, can I help them with X? And I knew that I probably could help them, but that wasn't my specialist area. I would express that. I would say, yes, I can help you with this, but it's not my specialism, right? And then, of course, the client has to make the decision really whether they want to trust that therapist or whether they want to find a therapist that can help them in that specialist area, or that specific area, rather. So areas that I can pass on my best knowledge and experience with, and areas that I've helped people with more than anything: childhood trauma. Okay, specifically narcissistic, the effects of having a narcissistic parent or parents, and also being in narcissistic related relationships, marriage, partners. Yeah, I have got extensive knowledge of this. So I feel in a really good place that I can, and I have helped people, and I am still, helping clients with the effects of childhood trauma related more to narcissistic behaviors from parents, relatives, in relationships, partnerships and all that kind of thing. The other areas that I have quite a bit of knowledge with, not so much, well, yes and no, I have experienced these myself at various points, and I've had therapy in them as well, is anxiety and also depression, right? I've had a nervous breakdown quite a few decades ago now, and that was as a result of a really, really bad previous marriage, that was with a real serious narcissistic person. Completely ground me down, pretty much destroyed my life. And of course, I didn't realize at the time that what this behavior was actually doing, that I was experiencing in this environment, was actually triggering an awful lot of childhood trauma. Okay, so I've got a lot of experience in that area, and I know that I can, help people work through that and understand what's going on. Anxiety and depression, for me, the anxiety and depression I don't suffer long-term depression, but I have had periods of time, relatively short periods of time, where I've experienced depression. Now, I would say my experience, if you like, somebody who suffers really badly with depression, I have experienced it, but to nowhere near where it's, caused me to lose my job, screw up my life, or anything along those lines. But I have experienced what depression is. And of course, this is just an ongoing thing. What I do know is how to help people with both of those things, because I understand the extremes of them, and what particularly, what causes working through with people, the causes, and finding out what the causes are and how to deal with it, etc., etc. Another big area that I specialize in, communications, right? Communications, very, very key. I am not a relationship kind of orientated therapist. I don't do marriage counseling and guidance, and I certainly don't have couples therapy. Okay, not my area at all. But communications with a single person in a relationship, for instance, I've got a lot of areas of expertise in. In fact, it's one of my strongest points that I put across when I ever talk to anyone. Communication in relationships, communication with colleagues, communication with family, communication, in marriage, communication with children, and vice versa, and understanding how people think, okay? And that, in a way, helps you to communicate with them in a way that they can understand. And obviously, I've done several videos about all this communication. The response you get is as good as the communication that you're giving. And so, so communication is quite key. Last couple of things that I feel I have good experience in, and I've helped several, quite a few clients with, is self-esteem and confidence. I can apply that. I think everyone at some point in their life has, self-esteem and confidence issues at some point, unless you happen to never ever experience it. But so I know kind of what kind of triggers that, how to deal with it, how to manage it, how to understand it, how to explore what it is that's causing both the self-esteem and confidence issues. And again, all of these things, I use various different psychological tools, psychotherapy tools, etc., to manage it, to understand, manage, moving forward, how to progress. So that's pretty much it. The same applies for the Reiki. I mean, Reiki is a different thing completely, but it can help with all of the things that I've just spoken about on the psychological side, the psychotherapy side. This is why I do both of these therapies, kind of hand in hand. They work together. Not necessarily every client wants to explore Reiki as an option, and some don't want to explore psychotherapy as an option. So, it all comes down to actually what people want to choose, what they feel comfortable with. Anyway, I hope that's helped, and thank you very much for watching.